Hey guys, VSIC here. Now, I wanted to talk about this last week, but I didn't really have the time. And sorry for my voice. Like, I got a bit of a sickness right now, and I also had one. I had this sickness in my last video as well, which is why I sound kind of off. Not that I don't sound kind of off anyway, but I'm just letting you guys know. But anyway, so the thing about shopping malls nowadays, now, if you're at least about my age, you remember a past when shopping malls were like a big thing and they were just all around America. I mean, they still kind of are, but it's not like it used to be. They used to be just freaking everywhere. They used to be so big. Now, at one point, during the current kind of early mid 2000s, is when kind of I would say there was the most shopping malls around. But this was a time period when you really think about it, this was also a time period when people actually had something called spending money. You remember those days, guys? Remember those days when you could just go shopping and just spend on something that you wanted, whether it was one of those crappy pretzels from one of those stands or, just those, or should I say the arcade areas that they would have at the time. Just, have some fun money, spending money to give to your kids or just whatever. Because that's the kind of stuff that you'd even go to shopping malls for, is because we would actually go to the shopping malls to hang out lots of times. That was the kinds of stuff that we were doing when we didn't have, our video games to play at the moment. I mean, we had things like the N64 and all that. And then, there, of course, there was the PS2, of course, a bit later on. But the thing is, the online gaming wasn't really advanced that well at the time when the PS2 was out. And for the N64, the video games had good replayability, but sometimes you got kind of tired of the games. And so, we would go out biking and rollerblading, etc. So the shopping mall wasn't just a place that we shopped at, it was also a place that we hung out at and went out to. It was another one of those safe places that we could go to and hang out and have something to eat and go do some shopping, etc. However, nowadays things have kind of changed, as where nowadays a lot of kids nowadays, we have, I would say, kind of more, a lot better advanced, online gaming and such and so on. And because of that, a lot of people are doing that more often instead of going out, as well as many other things like, pornography. I mean, there's just many things on the internet now that have gotten better and more efficient. And I remember the times when we had to actually wait for a page to load whenever we went into a link of anything really. We had to wait for that page to go deep, 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 deep. And so, yeah, we used to have to actually wait for a page to load back then. But nowadays, we can just click into a link and it's like, oh, there it is in a flash. But moving on from that. And so, while at the same time the internet is getting more efficient, there's also this curve that happens during the recession that I think is what really pushed it. And not only the fact that at one point, I think the shopping was kind of dying down a little bit anyway, because due to technological changes and just changes in general. Just details that I can't really go into because that just make way too long of a video. But you know, at one point they were starting to make way too many shopping malls. And so, as is, there's actually plenty of shopping malls that a lot of people weren't really going to at one point. Even at the time period of people having spending money. And then when the recession hit, when I was 17, 18 years old, really hit it, that's what really drove it down. You know what I mean? And so suddenly, left and right, all these shopping malls are just going down, just like that. And while at the same time, the internet is getting better and better. Now, in my opinion, I think that people, if they had spending money like they used to when I was younger, they would still actually be, plenty of shopping malls nowadays, and the shopping malls would still be actually kind of thriving in a sense. Although, they still wouldn't be like they were in the past due to changes, obviously. But just so you know, that's, in my opinion, that's, I would say, the biggest reason why people just are not really going to shopping anymore is because they just do not have the kind of spending money like they used to. They just really do not. And even if they do have spending money, they're either spending it on video games or something else nowadays because of what happened in the past and because of the push. And now what's going to happen here soon enough is that uh, I think in the future, less people are actually going to stop doing online shopping and maybe do a little bit more of actual store shopping again like they used to, is because the internet has become famous for counterfeiting. And so I'll see like multiple deals of something that I want sometimes, is because there's all these people that are making counterfeits of stuff that we are looking for. And sometimes it actually looks like the real thing sometimes, if not pretty close. And it takes a professional just to be able to tell the difference. And so sometimes that cheaper product that you got is actually a fake. And then next thing you know, a month later, you discover that that fake watch you bought off the internet isn't working anymore because it's fucking fake. you know? But I think one last thing that killed shopping in the first place, and I think that some people forget about this, is how crappy the service was starting to get, actually, as well as at the shopping malls. Because I think we all forget that at one point, the only place that we were able to get stuff at one point was at the shopping malls, actually. Just like places like, I would say, the most notorious at one point, GameStop. Because at one point, you had to go to a place to get your games. And during, the 2000s, that started to change. And so while you would get crappy service at, let's say, GameStop, and you didn't want to deal with crappy service at a store. You just wanted to get your games, and just have fun. And so what happened then is that when online, downloading started happening, people were like, hey, I don't have to go to GameStop and deal with their shitty service anymore. I can just download the game. you know? I don't have to deal with some jackass trying to get me to pre-order a game that I don't really care to get and spend $5 on it. I can just get the game on the online store and just get the game and even get it when it comes out. I don't have to pre-order it anymore. I don't have to wait for my copy to come, etc. So, yeah, that just made it so that put, especially, stores like GameStop in their hurt locker. And then they realized, holy shit, we're fucked. This online gaming, and downloading thing is just going to ruin us. Not to mention the years of shitty service that we've been giving to our customers. We're just fucking ruined. And so slowly but surely, GameStops have been going away due to that fact. And also the way that they've been treating their not just their customers, but also the people that work for them, etc. And to be frank with you, I'm surprised that they're still even around. I'm seriously, I'm surprised, but I mean, they're going away. That's for damn sure. And if it keeps up, they're going to be gone if they don't do something about it. I mean, really. I mean, not to mention, I actually wouldn't mind there being at least a store where that is more gamer oriented and everything. But like, yeah, if this kind of shit continues, like most, if not any stores like that, are just going to be out the door. They're just going to be gone. because of what they've been doing the past decade or so. But yeah, it's just crazy looking back because, man, I remember when tons of people used to go to shopping and the places were just crowded and people were happy at the time and everything. And it's like we didn't really have to worry about shit back then, at least not most of the time. And, not like those times were really perfect either, but, most of the time, like your average person didn't really have to worry so much about money at the time. And we had spending money, etc. And we used to go out. But nowadays, that's kind of changed because of what's again happened during the session, etc. And it just hasn't really been the same since. Now, of course, things can get better again, but it's from the way it looks, it's probably going to be a little while. It could be even another couple decades before things get kind of better again. But then it'll probably just get worse again. But I think you guys kind of get the points. I came through my time period when you would go to school and you were told, oh, if you just worked hard enough, you could do this and that. And, for a time, it was at least kind of like that. But, it's like I said, times have changed. And when the recession happened, I got out of high school and then shit just hit the fan. So, it just happens and that's just life. What can you say? But with that being said, I'll just end this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.